Hello again. Welcome to Summit VB Fan. I'm your host, Jeremy Cleveland, and I will once again be your guide on this feed throughout the 2026 Summit League volleyball season. Well, we are one day closer to throwing the ball in the air for real on August the 28th as non-conference play gets started. So it is time for team preview number 2 on Saturday. I preview the two-time defending league champions, the Jackrabbits of South Dakota State. This time around, I get to preview their arch rival, the Coyotes of South Dakota. And how lucky do volleyball fans have it in the state of South Dakota? You have South Dakota State back-to-back trips to the NCAA tournament, 50 wins over the last 2 years. And then you have South Dakota, the model of consistency, the gold standard in the Summit League with 10 consecutive league wins in 10 consecutive years. That's crazy consistency. No down cycle, no down year. They just consistently win. And that's what they did again last season. 20-9 record, 12-4 in the Summit League, and they are led by head coach Leanne Williamson in her 13th season in Vermilion. Overall coaching record, 251 wins, 110 defeats. How about this record in the Summit League action? 149 wins and just 44 losses. Oh, I'd love to have a winning percentage like that in anything. Pickleball, you name it. You make me 149 and 44. I'd be patting myself on the back all the time. She should be, because South Dakota is definitely a consistent program. Over the last 5 years in Summit League action, listen to these numbers: 15-3, 16-2, 12-4, 10-6, 12-4. NCAA tournament appearances in the last 5 years, the Coyotes have made 3 of them: 2021, 2022, and 2024. 2022, they were knocking on the door, oh so close, losing to Houston in a 5-setter. This year's roster, well, don't be shocked if we add another one to that list of NCAA tournament appearances, because they will return 98% of their points scored from a year ago and return 90% of their sets played. So the battle between South Dakota and South Dakota State should be at a level that we've never seen in volleyball. It is going to be tremendous this year. And I need to send a thank you note to whoever scheduled both matches on a Friday this year, because I should be able to make both of those matches because they're on a Friday. Yeah, South Dakota and South Dakota State, both times this year, will be on Friday night instead of a Saturday night, which should be a whole lot of fun, that's for sure. This year, you have 5 award winners returning for the Coyotes. First teamer, outside hitter Lauren Medic is back. Second teamer, middle blocker Morgan Bodie is back. Second teamer, setter Avery Van Hook is back. Second team, middle blocker Amanda Lotion is back. And then an all-freshman is back as well at outside hitter. That is Ava Ball. So 5 award winners returning this year for the Coyotes. They do lose a big one, though. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Cameron Ferris, defensive specialist. She has graduated and moved on. So there is a void, at least on this roster. But that's the only one, because that's the only player they lost. Yeah, crazy to see that. Let's go to page number 2. Only one name on the right side, that being Cameron Ferris. Everyone else to the left is back. This is an experienced roster. They're only bringing in 2 freshmen as well. So everyone else on the roster's back, not only contributors, but the roster's back as well. So the depth will be there for the Coyotes. Now, let's go position group by position group. We'll start at outside hitter, where you have a couple award winners once again in Medic and Ball. You bring in a top 100 national recruit in Gabby Zachariason. There's a whole lot to be excited about on this group. I'll be honest, I think the practices may be tougher than several of their matches during the year, because there is a ton of talent on this list. Let's go person by person. Once again, they didn't lose anybody. Returning, Lauren Medic, 6-foot junior. I think it's Papillon, Nebraska. First team All-Summit last year. 345 kills, 3.75 kills per set. She was an all-freshman back in 2024. Also returning, once again, Ava Ball, 6-foot sophomore out of St. Paul, Minnesota. 96 sets played last year, 10 starts, 258 kills. She was on the all-freshman team. Adding to the depth at outside hitter, a 6-foot senior out of Omaha, Nebraska, Samantha Laird. She played in 41 sets last year, 2.29 points per set. She is also going to be a major contributor this year for the Coyotes. Then you have Kate Holthouse, 5'11", sophomore out of Cold Spring, Minnesota. She played in 4 sets last year, but she was the number 2 player at her position and the number 5 overall recruit in the Minnesota class of 2025. So we know that she has high upside and may win some playing time and be a major contributor this season. Also on the depth chart, you have Carly Reese, 6'3", redshirt sophomore out of Norfolk, Nebraska. She was number 2 at her position, number 11 overall in the Nebraska class of 2024. So once again, you talk about the depth for the Coyotes. You have some players that charted out extremely well on prep dig coming into college, and now they're just battling for that playing time. And what a battle it is, given the talent once again at the outside hitter position. Kate Legel, 5'11" or 5'10" redshirt freshman out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 750 plus kills, 750 plus digs in her prep career. She kind of rounds out the returning depth that the Coyotes have at outside hitter. And then I referenced her already, but let's talk about her again. It is going to be Gabby Zachariasen, 6-foot freshman out of Harrisburg, South Dakota. Elite red on VB Adrenaline. Consensus National top 100 recruit. She was able to join the program for spring volleyball, so she's familiar with the teammates already. She has a head start on things, so expect her to make a major impact on this roster in 2026, adding once again to the talent level here on the position. So the practice court, once again, that is going to be something else to watch this group hit it out at the outside hitter position. Next up on the position chart, let's go to setter. They didn't lose anybody. They didn't add anybody. They have setter, and they feel good about it. It's Avery Van Hook, 5'9", senior out of Marion, Iowa. All Summit second league team last year. All freshman back in 2023. She has 3,272 career assists, so she's a good one. Also on the depth chart there, you have Ella Rogers returning. She's a 6'1" redshirt freshman out of Des Moines, Iowa. She was number 5 at the position, number 15 overall in the Iowa class of 2025. So the succession plan at setter is in place there. You have Van Hook now and Rogers in the future. That's how the Coyotes look at the setter position. Next up, we go to middle blocker. And they didn't lose anybody. They did add someone, but let's talk about what they have returning first. You have Amanda Lotion, 6'2" senior out of Omaha, Nebraska. All Summit second team last year. Started in all 29 matches. She was a .345 hitter last year with 2.7 points per set. .345 hitting percentage. That's a good number there. Then you have Morgan Bodie, 6'1", junior out of Papaline, Nebraska. I mispronounced that again, I guess. All Summit second team, started in all 29 matches, 261 hitting percentage a year ago, 3 points per set. She was an all freshman back in 2024. Also adding to the depth chart at middle blocker, Audrey Nelson, 6-foot junior out of Madison, South Dakota, started in all 29 matches, had a .235 hitting percentage, and had 2.33 points per set. And rounding out the depth there, returning at middle blocker, it is Amelia Duggar, 6'1", redshirt junior out of Decorah, Iowa. 4 sets played last year. She had injuries that hampered her in both 2023 and 2024. Back in the Iowa class of 2023, she was ranked number 5 at her position and number 16 overall. So once again, if healthy again, she has upside that could contribute to this program this season. Now, the person they added is Cole Clement. I can't pronounce it. Kmiecik, a 6'2" freshman out of Shawnee, Kansas. I will eventually learn how to pronounce names. I'm not sure. I'm 49. My nieces and nephews often call me Jeremy. I just accept it, and I think some of you are going to have to accept the fact that I'm going to mispronounce names most of the year. But Chloe 23rd ranked at her position, 97th overall in the Kansas class of 2026. So that kind of rounds out what they have at middle blocker. Love to see 6'2", 6'2", 6'1", 6 foot, and 6'1" on the list. There is some height on this Coyote roster. Next up, we go to defensive specialist, and this is the hole when it comes to what's going on out there. You have Cameron Ferris, two-time Summit League Defensive Player of the Year that is gone. Trying to fill the voids? Well, we'll start with Sierra Pocarrell, 5'4" sophomore out of Omaha, Nebraska. She made 19 starts, appeared in all 29 matches, and played in 113 sets last season. She had 2.12 digs per set, so she was a key contributor. Also returning here, it is Sam Antide, 5'8", junior out of Okabena, Minnesota. I've lived in Minnesota most of my life. I had to look it up on the map. It's down there in that Worthington type area, I guess, Hutchinson country, or Marshall country, I should say. But number 3 at the position, number 11 overall in the Minnesota class of 2024. She started her college career at Louisville. She played in all 29 matches last season and played in all 113 sets and had 2.11 digs per set. So that combo with Sierra and Sam should really fill a lot of the void there for the Coyotes at defensive specialist. You also have Cora Hockenstad, 5'7", junior out of South Dakota. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, I should say. She appeared in 20 matches last season, played in 60 sets. She'll be a part of the depth chart there. Then you have Catherine Thompson. Catherine Thompson, 5'8", senior out of Pewaukee, Wisconsin. She appeared in 16 matches and 37 sets last year. She started her college career for the Red Foxes of Marist. So you lose one, you don't add anyone. They're comfortable with the 4 they have returning and have some depth there and experience. All 4 of them played significant sets last year, which helps to add to that experience there. Next up, we go to the conference schedule, the non-conference schedule, I should say. South Dakota State had the number 1 ranked non-conference schedule by the tiniest of margins. South Dakota is playing a tough schedule as well. They're going to face 7 top 100 teams from a year ago. Average Massey rank for their opponents from last year, 89.09. Starts with a big test on August the 28th on the road at Drake there in Des Moines. Then they'll also face Milwaukee and DePaul at that competition. So a good measuring stick early in that opening weekend. Then after that, they come home for 3 different matches. They'll face Utah Valley, Northern Iowa, who was ranked number 33 last year in the Massey numbers, and also Air Force, who came in at 162. After that, their final 5 matches are all against top 100 opponents from a year ago. They go to Fort Collins and face a trio of tough programs, Colorado State, Wyoming, and UC Santa Barbara. Then to wrap up the non-conference, they'll go to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, take on a pair of Big Ten teams in Minnesota and Washington. So a tremendous schedule. I personally, once again, believe South Dakota has done exactly what they need to do to try to get an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament if they don't win the Summit. They've scheduled tough. Their computer numbers should be strong. They just need to win enough of these matches early and then obviously have a strong performance in league play. But with everything returning, my stock is up on South Dakota. I think the Coyotes are going to have a tremendous year. They're going to be challenging South Dakota State all season long. And once again, those 2 matches on Friday night will determine probably the league champion once we get to the league portion of the season. But that's where we're at with the Coyotes. I hope you enjoyed this preview. Got tongue-tied like I will on all of them. Mispronounced a few names along the way, but between South Dakota State, South Dakota, we are really strong at the top. Next up, my next preview is going to be St. Thomas. Yeah, what'd they do last year? They only advanced to the NCAA tournament. They only won the automatic bid in their first year of eligibility. So that Tommy's program's in a good spot as well. Can't wait to preview them. But before I wrap here, a quick note here and a shout out to the Howling Podcast. Year number 3 for them. Season number 3 is going to premiere on Sunday, August the 23rd, live at 9 p.m. I watched a lot of their shows towards the end of the season. They do a nice job covering volleyball. That's where I got that good laugh watching Lauren Medic on there talking about Minions. So make sure if you're a Coyote fan, check out their product, the Howling Podcast. Great coverage of Coyote athletics. And then a reminder for everyone, join volleytalk.proboards.com. Keep the Summit League on the national radar. Go out there, vote for the 2 teams that you think will reach the championship match this year, and predict the record for your favorite team or teams in Summit League action, and join the conversation all season long. You can find the Summit League link out there. Coyote tries to keep us near the top there anyway of the pages. So once again, you can find that at volleytalk.proboards.com. Until we meet again, have a great day, everyone.